I was at my daughter's graduation on last week, and we were in this large auditorium with a lot of people. The parking, people was trying to find parking. It was just people out. There was so many people at this graduation, and I really thought it was going to be this large auditorium, with upstairs, downstairs, and everything, but it wasn't. But it had enough space for everybody that was there. But as we had to walk to a certain spot, we had to walk in this special spot. We had to go down these escalators to be able to go into the room that we needed to go into to find a seat. So when we got to the escalator were going down, and we noticed there was big crowds right there at the beginning of the escalator. People was trying to get around of everybody. It's just like somebody there was, I don't know, was wondering, did they drop something or did it just didn't, they was trying to get down the escalators. We didn't know what it was, but it was people just standing there. Then the closer we got, I noticed that people started to go around this person, and because they were standing there, holding up traffic, in other words. And so people started going around because of the frustration. They want to get to their seats. They want to get out of this crowd and everything. They just want to keep it moving. And when the closer I got to it, it was a young lady. She had two small kids. And one of the kids she had in her arm, maybe I would say about a year old at the most. But her little girl, who looked like she may have been 2 to 3 years old, she stood at that escalator, and her mom was on the escalator holding on, and she kept saying, "Come on, it's going to be okay. Just step on to the escalator. Just step on." That little girl would not get on that escalator. She didn't cry. She didn't scream. She didn't do anything. She just looked at the movement of the escalator. And it was like she was saying, "There's no way that you're going to get me to stand up on it, to get on that thing. I'm not doing it. Y'all want to go? Go ahead. When you finish, I'll be right here." She just gave you that look, that special look, and she had her hand in her mouth like she was sucking one of her fingers or whatever. And her mom kept saying, "It's going to be okay, darling. I promise I got you. I got you." And I just noticed how everybody just kept going around her. Nobody even asked or, want to help. And I said, wow, it just got, it's kind of, I guess everybody was really in a rush and trying to get where they needed to go. And I mean, people were just going all around her and jumping in front of her. And I usually don't do this, but I mean, unless asking, because people are particular with their kids, and this was in an area, it was, it wasn't, we have so much racial things going on in the world. So, I didn't know how this young lady would feel if I was to help or anything. Because some people, they're just different. But anyway, immediately in my mind, I said, "Can I pick you up and carry you down?" She didn't shake her head. Yes, no. Her mom just kind of looked at me, and I just swooped her up. Now, listen, I don't have that good of a balance myself. I usually have to hold on to these rails. And while I'm going up or down the escalator, it don't matter to me, but I'm usually holding on. My husband and my son was behind me. And I heard my son say, "Oh," like, and so I picked her up. I thought she would scream or holler. She was just calm and quiet and kind of looking at me like you're just a hero. She just looked at me so strangely. And we went on down the escalator. And once we got to the bottom, it was before us, her mom said, "Thank you so much." And I said, "So now you feel okay? You better?" And she just looked at me like, "Otherwise I wouldn't have came down." If you didn't pick me up, I would not have come down. But, and I gave it to her mom, and they would say, put on just stood her up and gave it to her mom. But her mom was so appreciative of me doing that. And I felt good about it. But all these people was going around. But here's a point I have here. I kept thinking about the little girl all day long, and I said she was so fearful of going down. She was, she was not going to move. She was not going to move. Mom was going to have to pick her up. Mom already had a baby in her arm, so mom couldn't pick both of them up. But she was not going down. She wasn't going anywhere. Then all these people going around her. All these people almost running over her and her mom, just really getting out the way. Nobody even offering to help or anything. And I think about us. I thought about her, and I thought about us in life. You know, God has particular plans and places for us to go, things for us to do. And some of us are so afraid, just like this little girl. We see it right there in front of us. We know it's going to move because God is giving it to us. It might be a change in job. It might be a move, physical move, or you move from one place to another. But you know it's there. You can see it, but you're afraid to step into it. She was so afraid. Then everybody you see be passing you up, and they're not helping. They're not even offering their help, and they're not even trying to give you any type of encouragement or assistance in helping. So you really feel that fear, right? You feel like I can't go. I can't go any further. This is the farthest I can go. But I'm so grateful that we have a God that's, oh my God, he's so great. And he would do just as I did that little girl, pick us up. And he will make sure we get into a spot where we feel comfortable. Now sometimes we have to, we have to get up and do something ourselves, and then sometimes he put people in our space that will help us to move forward. He'll give us the right ones to help us, to guide us, and to encourage us and to go forward. But sometimes we just feel like that little girl, look, ain't nobody helping me, so I'm not moving. You know, it looks too fearful. I don't like the way it looks. I can't see the outcome of it. So I'm comfortable right here. Y'all go ahead on, do what you do. When you get back, I'll be right here. I'll be right here. And that's just the way she looked. The little girl, she looked just that way. So I want you to think about it today. What's holding you back? Are you that little girl? Are you that person you see it? It looks scary. You don't know what the outcome gonna be. So much going on around you as well. And then people are passing you up, passing you by, and nobody is asking or offering any type of help. What do you do? What do you do? Which way do you go? I want you to ask yourself that. Is that you? Is that you? If it is, I want you to just pray and ask God, God, I'm fearful. He said he didn't give us the spirit of fear, but he knows we're going to be fearful. But God, I'm scared to make the move. I don't know nobody's helping me. What next can I do? I need your help. Please send somebody my way, like you sent me for that little girl, or send somebody my way, God, to help to guide me in that direction. Because otherwise, I'm too fearful to move. But I know there's something greater once I get to where I need to be. So you think about that today. Is that you? Think about that passage in the Word of God about the man at the pool. It was a healing pool, and he would go there for every day. He was a invalid, I think, but he would go there to be healed. To get anybody who would get in that pool, the first person getting in that pool would gain healing. And every day he would go, but he never would get in. He never would get in. And he was, when Jesus showed up one day, and I know Jesus had been watching him all that time, and said, well, why are you still here? Why haven't you gotten in the pool? And I'm paraphrasing. But why haven't you gotten in? He said, well, people are always passing by me. Nobody helped me to get in. I come every day, but, somebody always get ahead of me. Nobody helps me to get in. But what did Jesus tell him? He said, hey, you want to be healed? And the man said, yes. Well, pick up your mat and walk. That's all you need to do. Just pick up your mat and walk. So the man was obedient and did what Jesus said, and he walked away healed. All that time, he was worried about how he was going to get in there, who wasn't helping him, all the people around him, and he was afraid. He probably was afraid of just getting in by himself, just like the little girl scared of just taking that step, that first step. And the big thing about the escalator is she would have took the first step and just got on that first step, she'd have noticed that that escalator would have glided her down to where she needed to be. She didn't have to walk. She didn't have to move. All she had to do is stand still, and it would take her to where she needed to be. And that's the way God does with us. And so he's telling somebody today, you, me, someone, that it's time to make a move. It's time to start that business. It's time to start that ministry. Time to move from that job that you've been there and you're not going any further. It's time to, move from this town and this place or that church because it's something greater. It's time to make that move. And it looks funny. You don't know what to expect. It looks scary. But take the first step. Take the first step. As I said, the little girl, if she'd have took the first step and went down those escalators, it would have glided her straight down. If you take this first step, God will keep us in his precious right hand, and he will guide us and lead us into where we need to be. But we have to trust in him, believe in him, and take that step. The man at the pool, every day going to that pool, trying to get in, nobody would help him. He wasn't able to get in, but he kept trying, of course. But he wasn't making the first step. He wasn't making that move. But look, God saying what he was wanting. He saw his need, and he said, if you really want this, just get up. Just get up. And I'm telling you, sisters and brothers, today, if you really want this, just get up and move. I hope this bless you today. And if it's you that's going through and waiting and scared or fearful or whatever, just get up and move. Take the first step. I love you, and be blessed.